Hello, everybody. Aiden here, and welcome into another video here on the Around the Slice Entertainment YouTube channel. So right now, today, at the moment, I am kicking off another review series here on the channel as the first 3 episodes of Paradise Season 2 have now premiered on Hulu a mere hours ago at the time of this recording at this point. So we're going to be here every single Monday doing that going forward. But before I get into things, I just want to give you all some background on my personal experience and how I watched this show. So this past weekend, I know, very last minute, this past weekend, I was very late to the party. I finally decided, though, to catch up on Paradise Season 1 on Hulu. And to put it like catch up is to put it lightly, because I literally binged and watched all 8 episodes in the span of just 3 days. That's how gripping, that's how immensely invested in the series I was. That's how immensely gripping Paradise Season 1 was. I absolutely adored it. I gave it the rare, perfect 10 out of 10 score for me personally, because every single scene mattered. Every single piece and line of dialogue from every single human being in that show as a whole was significant. Every single plot tied into each other by the season finale, by the season's end, rather, if you will. I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to shout out one episode. Well, before I get to that, one aspect that I loved and adored with the writing of these episodes in season 1 as a whole, rather, mainly specifically was the flashbacks and how the writers, the writers tied the flashbacks to the current day. I loved every single flashback. The use of the flashback to give us context to how we got where we are at the moment in the present day of the series was phenomenal. And I want to shout out one episode in particular. The penultimate episode, there's 8 episodes. So the penultimate episode of season 1, episode 7, titled The Day, where it depicted what happened on the actual day of the global tsunami occurring. What happened when Agent Xavier Collins lost his wife in Atlanta? What happened that day, in that day of chaos, in that day of somberness? Genuinely enough, guys, I am not exaggerating here. That is one of the very best episodes of television that I have seen in quite some time. The flashback, it's basically a whole episode of flashback per se, but in freaking incredible. Whew. Now going into season 2, let's discuss the structure, because as I said at the top of the video here tonight rather, as the time of the recording, it premiered with 3 episodes on Hulu. Typically, actually 99.9% of the time, I'm not a fan of that, like at all. Big streaming service shows like this, in my opinion, need to be dragged out as long as possible. These shows live on the week-to-week theorizing with your friends and family. These shows live in the water cooler talk at your workplace. Like, oh, did you see that previous episode of Paradise or whatever else, yada yada yada, of any other show? You're like, oh yeah, man, here's my theory for next week, blah blah blah. But so I say drag out the content for as long as possible. But in this case, for a thrilling, really at its core, murder mystery show like this, I think it worked perfectly. Again, I'm a proponent of weekly releases from episodes 1 through 8, top to bottom. Drag out the content and conversation and week-to-week theorizing as long as humanly possible. But for this, I think it worked perfectly. So let's get into those first 3 episodes. We start off with season 2, episode 1. Now, some people, rightfully or not, probably not rightfully, they're wrongfully going to say this is a very slow-paced, exposition-heavy episode. Yeah, it is. But in my eyes, what the hell is wrong with that? This is the first episode of season 2. We needed a slower paced, more introductory, waiting episode. It gave us a great character study. I use those terms specifically, character study of one of the main prominent survivors, who now we know to be Annie. She's been living by herself in Graceland, which is where Elvis Presley pretty much Elvis grew up. His parents got him the land when he was just a young singer and teenager and all that. She used to be a tour guide. She survived the wreckage somehow. It was just a great, great character study. So yes, it's slow paced. Yes, it's exposition heavy, but who cares? This is why this show, what is incredible, in my opinion at least, because it takes its time with its characters. Every plot line matters, every scene matters, every line of dialogue and storytelling is gripping and matters. So, again, character study to a core, phenomenal. Episode 2 focuses on another character, our main character here. It's all about Xavier, Agent Xavier Collins. Obviously, season 1 cliffhanger. Shit is still going down in the bunker, but he chooses to leave the bunker to go find his wife, Terry, in Atlanta. Episode 2 is all about Xavier. Agent Xavier Collins, to be more specific. He finds these couple children, not his children, but he finds these couple random children that survive the wreckage and global tsunami somehow. But then, I love the episode, those interactions and pieces of dialogue were great. But the thing, the heart and soul of season 2, episode 2 for me was, I keep saying this, but the use of flashbacks is awesome. The flashbacks where we uncovered and saw specifically and mainly how Xavier and Terry met in the hospital. Maybe it was randomness, maybe it was fate, but we saw those flashbacks, how they met in the hospital. These episodes do such a great job of interweaving these flashbacks to the present day. And then once we get back to the present day, Xavier is taken by Annie from the previous episode, and she demands him to take them to the Colorado bunker. Xavier is going to see his wife in Atlanta, and he says, nope, you're going to take us to the Colorado bunker. So clearly some shit's about to pop off here. Some shit's about to go down here, to be more specific. Again, episode 2, phenomenal. Each episode is giving us a new character to focus on, and that's especially prevalent in episode 3, where this is all about the bunker. This is all about the presidential / inner workings of the bunker side of things, specifically Sinatra. As we see, she has now woken up from what happened at the season 1 finale, last season specifically. But we see flashbacks with Sinatra and when she first hired Agent Billy Pace to take out this certain person. I can't remember his role. I apologize, but we see that. We see how ruthless Sinatra is. We always hear her talking about when she hired Billy Pace, Agent Billy Pace. Now we actually see it in action, if you would. And that was awesome. And if you think Sinatra's evil, just wait. Because at the very end of this episode, we close out this 3-episode premiere with one of the most just unreal moments I've ever seen on television in quite some time. I keep saying quite some time because this show deserves it. Jane volunteers to go on a walk with the president. Well, the new president after Cale Bradford was killed. He goes by the code name Hercules. And Jane is behind him, tells him to slow down. And she literally, without a doubt, without hesitation, ruthlessly slices his throat and lets him bleed out and die. And then we see Jane also attack Agent Robinson when Agent Robinson is trying to help the president, Hercules, codename Hercules. Jane is arguably even more evil, cynical, murderous, whatever dark terminology you want to use, arguably more evil than Sinatra herself. Phenomenal 3-episode premiere. Cliffhanger of all cliffhangers. That moment at the end of season 3 is a jaw-dropping moment in television if I've ever seen one. So, 3-episode premiere was awesome. Now, this isn't a personal issue of mine, but I just want to recognize that if some people are going to nitpick, they're probably going to say that this 3-episode premiere lacks action. It lacks action to set things in motion, other than the episode 3 cliffhanger, of course, going forward. In my opinion, that's not a problem, because I love how character focused this 3-episode premiere is. I love how each episode we get new hints of flashbacks for certain characters. We get new developments for certain characters, and most specifically and importantly, rather, we get new character studies each and every single episode. Season 1, 10 out of 10. I'm going to get... So that's not an issue of mine, excuse me. That's not an issue of mine. I'm just recognizing what some people might say as a nitpick or actual issue of theirs. But I don't really care about that BS. So I'm going to give the 3-episode premiere of Paradise on Hulu a perfect 10 out of 10. Gripping stuff in this episode 3 cliffhanger. Whoo! Jaw-dropping if I've ever seen one. Anyways, guys, so just some housekeeping around here, if you would. Kind of go with me here. HBO's A Night in the Seven Kingdoms is now over after 6 episodes. I did my discussion for that spectacular finale. Yes, spectacular finale is now out on the channel as of a couple nights ago / days ago. So please go check that out if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. And then we're all, of course, as always, we're always coming up with exciting new concepts, content, and ideas and videos specifically on this channel. But with this premiere for regular scheduled programming, you can expect on the channel on a weekly basis going forward. Every Thursday night, we have HBO's The Pit. And now, after today, every Monday, we have Hulu's Paradise. And then we're going to have shows releasing within the next couple of months. Invincible, The Boys, Euphoria. Great time to be invested in nerd / pop culture. Great time to be invested in television as a whole, in those universes specifically. So anyways, guys, you can, of course, follow me personally on Twitter /X at @Weingartner13 for any additional movie / and or TV show discussions and opinions. Please share, or please like and subscribe. Please share this video and channel with anyone and everyone you know. The potential growth from that would be very much appreciated. Thank you for the support as always. Let me know down in the comments below. What was your favorite episode of 3? I think I'm going to go for me with episode 3 just because of that awesome cliffhanger, and that's really going to set everything in motion. But let me know all the details I may have missed. We can talk about it down in the comments below. As a reminder, 3-episode premiere of Paradise. First 3 episodes, season 2 rather, of Paradise on Hulu. Perfect 10 out of 10 for me personally. Thank you for the support as always. I'm out. I will see you next time. Goodbye.